Oh my goodness. Avatar, David, Asso. Thank you, Asso. Calling me the king. If you only knew what happened yesterday, you wouldn't call me a king. Behavik Nana. Hello, dear. Hello, Robert. Ah, yeah. After, yes. Asso wants to know what happened. You know, what happened was actually funny, but I didn't notice it. You know how sometimes we human beings, no matter what what we're trying to do, what image we have, and how proper we are, we still sometimes are who we are as a human being, and we have like if your ear scratches or your nose is scratching or whatever, you gotta attend to it. And just before I came on yesterday, or was it the day before, I start sneezing for some reason. And when I sneeze, sometimes it goes like 10 or 20 sneezes one after the other, and it feels great. But after that, sometimes then you feel itching around your nose. So just before I was going to push the button to go live, the sneezes took place and the nose were itching. So one hand on the button to press for go live, and one hand was going at it to clear all this feeling of itching on the nose due to the sneezing for 10 or 20 times. And lo and behold, and so it was done, and then quickly, 5 seconds, and I quickly, noticed that I'm online. So I did what I had to do. We finished the session. Later on, when I wanted to upload it, I saw that the video starts with me going at it with my nose, trying to get all the. It was just. It was funny. It was really funny and embarrassing at the same time. Good thing I wasn't going deep. It was just trying to get the surface itching away. But anyhow, that's what it is. I don't deserve to be a king today. Okay, now let's see what Asso asks. Asso says, Mehran, I have a question in mind. How to get rid of power struggles in relationship? Aha. To address that, we got to focus on why the power struggle is there. And that is on personal level. In other words, each one should understand and examine that, the motivation for seeking power struggle. Otherwise, you may see it, but the other side will not see it, and continues to gain power and domination and all that. That's because the whole concept of leadership, relationship, the existence, our persona, our value, worth, the conditioning to be affirmed, these are also whacked off, so warped, so weird. The whole value system has been wrongly administered. Like when two people get in a relationship, they have seen these images of, yo, a man in the house must be determined, must be a leader, and all that. And the definition for leadership is force, is to get his way, rather than leadership is supposed to lead, not dominate, not force, not try to assert authority. But leading is different than wanting to dominate and oppress. But people don't understand that. Many, especially men who get into a relationship, they think in order to show their manhood, leadership, they have to command authority by violence, by perseverance of this is how it should be, by drama, by punishment, by all kind of oppressive ways. And because their whole understanding of this leadership is wrong. And the women, having been guarding themselves not to be subjected to such inhumane and undemocratic and wrong behavior of a man in a family relationship, having seen it with their maybe parents or uncles and aunts and I don't know, movies and traditional behavior of their society, they're on guard and not wanting this to happen in their own relationship, in their own family with their husband or whatever it is the relationship is all about. They put up this fighting mode to combat and withstand and resist the advance of the husband or the man to behave in such a way. So then there is now a conflict and a race in who is going to be the dominant factor, because they think resolving this problem is by someone becoming dominant, therefore they're fighting for that dominance, which is all bullshit. A relationship is called relationship, not ownership, not domination, not dictatorialship. It's a relationship. It's an agreement. It's a cooperation. It's like two horses pulling a cart, a wagon. It's a cooperation. It's a relationship in completing this task of pulling this wagon. It's not about who's going to be pulling. You're both pulling the wagon, idiots. It's not like, no, I'm pulling the wagon, but you got to pull so I can be considered I'm pulling the wagon. What does that mean? You want my help to do a job? Then it's a relationship for doing this job. It's an agreement, cooperation, putting our forces together. So this whole understanding of relationship is wrong. So once you understand why is it that you're trying to do that, which is to affirm yourself, to show you're more, to prove your manhood, from the man's point of view. These are all wrong way of trying to prove your manhood. To be a man is not to be an asshole. To be a man is not to be a person who tries to dominate the family. To be a man is a character. It's character of power, and power comes from love, from fairness. People die for someone who is fair to them. Leaders in the history, the leaders who led with love and care and good thinking, wisdom. They're the ones whose armies died for them willingly. And the ones who were trying to dominate in dictatorial ways, their armies flew apart after a while. They didn't give a shit. They even revolted against that king, that leader, so-called leader. So if we learn anything from history, we have to understand we have to move toward democracy more and more. I don't care if you have a dick hanging in front of you or a vagina. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make you any better or give you a mandate to be the leader of the family. It has to be based on democracy, love, compassion, care, unselfishness, togetherness, working together. It's a whole different understanding of life. The eras of putting on each other's head, hitting each other's head in order to putting each other down to dominate, it's over. That's a stupidity. It's not between man and a woman. They both have same kind of brain, capable of wisdom. So together they can bring about a higher level of wisdom, better chance to succeed in front of the challenges of life that they would face them. But one wants to dominate. So whatever I say goes. Who the fuck are you that you actually came about to be the wise of the world? You got some education and I got some education. Let's work it together, see where it goes. Now you want to be tolerant and, you know, kind to each other. That's a different story. But taking it for granted, that means you don't understand what leadership is. You're conditioned to want to be more, and you think by force you should show that, rather than by your efforts and care and compassion and efforts you put into bringing, you know, better things to the family. And you have no understanding that you've been conditioned to want to have an image of a man, and thinking that being a man is muscle, power, domination, anger, violence. That's not man. That's an asshole. So it has to do with sitting down and understanding why you guys are in a relationship. You're not in a relationship to be dominated by each other. You're in a relationship to cooperate with each other. Make something happen. Build something, you know, together. Then you're strong. Otherwise, so okay, one dominates the other one. What did you get? Did you become wiser because this one listens to whatever the hell you say because she's afraid of you? Or did you become wiser? Are you able now to make more money? Are you suddenly become, you know, more educated or more capable? Can you cure the common cold now? What did you gain from this domination? Nothing. It's just a personal ego. When you put all that ego shit aside, then you can emerge as two wise, easy-flowing couple who can actually withstand challenges that life brings them and embark on a journey that would be pleasant, in harmony, and strong. Now, I hope that gives you some idea to what I tried to show you. Aso says, Mehran, can I translate one of your videos to Arabic, this one especially, about power struggle, so I can put it in my Twitter account for my friends? Yes, of course. Just put a link to my channel or to that video as its original form. Why not? You mean you want to download the video and then put your voice or translation of Arabic, or you want to put the subtitle in Arabic? Either way, it's fine. Just make sure you put a connection link to the actual channel, so people actually would be encouraged to see more stuff that you have not translated. Yeah, sure. Go ahead. I think there is a way that you can, I don't know, there's a way actually, I think that it can be translated, like everybody can translate the videos where they are, as they are, and then the, you know, closed caption or the subtitles would be appear based on that translation. So just do what you got to do and show it to me first, if you will, before you put it online, and then I guess it should be okay. Mackenzie says, hello, Mackenzie, age 20, female, from Michigan. Hello, Mackenzie, age 20, female from Michigan. She says, I have been seeing this very nice guy who treats me very well, and we seem to have all the same interests and goals. Mackenzie adds, I have no reason not to like him, but I just don't know how much I'm really attracted to him. Should I give it more time? Yeah, how else would you know if you're attracted to him or not? And remember, you know, sometimes perhaps most qualified or most expensive, let's say something, let's say carpet, a handmade carpet. Maybe you walk in a store, you see the carpet, and you see it's available to you for a very nominal price. At that moment, you doubt your own selection. Oh, this one is so cheap. Maybe it's not good. The only reason is because the price is so reasonable. Otherwise, its knots per square inch is so many. That means such fine knots, which increases the value of the carpet. The design comes from the era that is not too many designs have been done there. It's so valuable. It's done in silk. All of these are there. And you saw it, you liked it, but then you see the price is so nominal. And then you wonder, maybe it's not such a good deal. Then you go on something else that is prices, look, $25,000. Suddenly, oh, maybe that's better than this. Why? Because one was available so cheaply and the other one not. And you're conditioned to think what's available to you or what you attain, what you can attain, may not be that hot because you could attain it. And you don't have much confidence in yourself. And you say, well, if I don't have much confidence in myself, but yet a person like me with not such a big confidence can attain such a wonderful thing, maybe that thing is not so wonderful because I could attain it. That comes from lack of confidence in you, not the quality of that thing that you wanted to attain, or the carpet. You gotta have confidence in yourself. If the guy is being nice to you, it's not because he's an idiot or because he's not worthy. It's because of you, that you don't think you're worthy for such wonderful behavior. You don't have enough confidence in yourself to think that if someone is so nice to you and you don't think much about yourself, then you start thinking, oh, he's nice to me maybe because he's not so much himself and I'm so much better than him. But I'm looking for someone who's much better than me and I can't get him. That's what you think. And then you will run after some assholes who don't pay attention to you, they don't treat you nice, but you think they're better than you because they don't pay attention to you, because you can't attain them. Therefore, suddenly in your mind, you become low, their value goes up, and you then start running after something that you think its value is higher than you. Rather than the guy who's actually offering you all the stuff that you wanted. Kindness, compassion, and cordialness, being cordial, respect, love. What is it that you're asking? Are you looking to have a relationship with an avatar, with a physical appearance, or you really understand that your relationship, regardless of how that person looks, is actually with the consciousness of the person, is with the behavior of the person, with the manners of the person, with compatibility and harmony with that person? Because let's say you went out and you found someone that physically, it somehow, I don't know, affects you differently. It doesn't matter what they have, what they look like, and either it's the possessions, the money, or the looks, or whatever it is, you're still going to be having a relationship with what is inside their heads, in their consciousness. Not that physical appearance. That physical appearance would not worth a damn anymore once you start seeing there's a problem in behavior, in what makes that physical appearance that you like function. Because that physical appearance, its activities, its movements are actually negative, are not making you feel. Because a relationship is about feeling, right? And the feeling comes from behavior and actions of the other person towards you. And the other person's actions is based on their thinking and their understanding, their consciousness, their programming. So ultimately, you're having a relationship with the consciousness of that person. That's what that person is all about, not the looks. Yeah? So the looks maybe cosmetically could be a little bit changed, different clothing, different this and that. But the consciousness is the one that you're having a relationship with. You can't easily change that. So watch what you're getting into and be wise and see where's the relationship and what you're having a relationship with. Is it the person's belongings, looks, or the manners, mentality, consciousness, thinking, understanding, conditioning? Bring a balanced combination, then you got it made. Otherwise, you will face different problems. Marielos, ¿cómo estás? You've been away for long. Aso says, oh no, we did talk about Aso. Mark says, do you think things happen for a reason, or is everything happens by coincidence? Chance, balance, law of average, and people get on their lives. I don't know. But what I do know is that when things happen, later on, you will see the reason that why it happened, because it leads to something that could seem to be how you wanted it to happen. At the time when things are happening, it has a lot to do with how you've thought, how you've executed your actions, how you planned, how meticulous you were. Did you exercise wisdom? The steps you took led you to somewhere else or someplace that you wanted it to be. Also, coincidences do come into place. And sometimes you've got nothing to do with it, but it happens. How are you going to explain that? It's not a clear-cut understanding. Some things happens and you see no reason for them. Later on, you see that had no reason for it actually was a good stepping stone for what you attained later on. Therefore, a reason is created for it. So some things may look like they have no reason, but later on you see there was a reason. Or you could allocate or see a reason for what happened in the past, which at the time when it happened, you had no idea, you could not see a reason for it. Perhaps that caused you to take certain steps which led to certain good positive place that you wanted to be or attain, and then therefore you found that or said to yourself that that's what the reason of that thing that happened then was. That's another way of looking at it. And things happen that you really didn't expect them, and you had nothing to do with them. Pretty much nothing. Out of the blue. So that you can't explain. I remember once I had no money. Like, you know, I was educated and working, and the market was not good in real estate. And pretty much I had no money. No deals were happening, the market was not good. There was nothing I could do, no more, you know, advertisement or anything. Nothing. Market was terrible. Or somehow nothing was happening. And I needed money immediately. Like, you know, it was really becoming short. And my son was very small, and, you know, I was safe and I had food, and I was living with my parents' house, part of the house, and it was a luxury house, but I had no money. And it was being, you know, to me it was embarrassing that I'm getting that close. So I just simply said to the universe, I said, universe, I need money, I need help. Because I could see that, you know, I've got no money left anywhere. Very nominal. And to this day, I cannot understand any reasoning for it, for what happened. But as soon as I said that, and I had no recourse, there was no deal hanging, there was no nothing that I could expect, that it was so close, that I had done something for it. And I had clients that I had showed things around here and there, but things didn't look good. So I said to universe, you know, universe, I need help. I need money. Do something. It wasn't half an hour that I was just sitting and looking at the television, but I wasn't looking, I was just thinking by myself. It wasn't half an hour after that, the telephone rang. And the client says, oh, could you please help us to find a house? We need to have a house in 2 weeks. Hallelujah. How did that come about? And sure enough, within 1 week, an offer was written. A humongous amount of money came to me. And things suddenly had changed from this to that. I have no explanation for that. So while everything that we do has a lot to do with our efforts, and this also, at least I don't know, somehow, I don't know, something I must have done, but not to the level to bring that kind of results in such an important moment. So there are things that really, while we want to intellectualize it and give the credit to ourselves, there are forces at hand that has nothing to do with your efforts. Often you do so much and nothing comes off of it. And suddenly you haven't done much and something, you know, it's not all luck and coincidence, and some are, but yeah, I do believe there is some forces that could make things happen that was meant to be. So let's go to the merit of the story is never lose hope. Never lose hope. Just keep on doing what you got to do. Keep on doing. Don't just pray, wish. Keep on doing and pray. Keep on doing and wish. Keep on doing and send thoughts. Keep on doing what needs to be done. Then things may happen miraculously somehow. Now, Bruno. Hello, Bruno. Long time no see, no hear. Bruno says, hello from Brazil. I'm 24 years old and I'm not happy with my profession. So I've decided to go back to the university and try something that I always loved. Do you think that there's still time? Oh, of course there's time. 24 years old? Are you kidding me? Even today, if I have the opportunity and if I feel that I want to learn something, well, of course, today things are different. You don't necessarily have to go to university in everything. You can research on computers and learn and, you know, independently do that. But for your purposes, if you need to go and complete a course to learn it, of course there's time. Are you kidding? 24-year-old, what you have is time. So, more power to you. Go get it done. Yeah, you can send this. Also, you can possibly send the subtitles and captions, and you can send it to me. And I think there is a way that we can put it in there. So it's not a, yeah, it can be done. Rachel says, hi Rachel in the Rachel in the house. Elvis in the house, in the building. Rachel in the house. Says, yeah man, can't be serious on stupid games. Hi Mehran, hi everyone, male 30 UK. That's Ross. So what happened to Rachel? Rachel said, hi Rachel in house. And says, here it is. It's not Yaman. It's why men can't be serious only on stupid games. Rachel, not all men are like that, because many men have the same question directed to women. They say why women are not serious, faithful, and exercise good manners and good intentions in a relationship. There's all kinds in both sides. Sometimes men are just playing around, sometimes women are. But those are not representing the whole entirety of the women or the men around the world. People are different. So it just tells you that is not the right man. That's all. Not all men are like him. That is not the right man, and you just move on, and until you find someone that meets your standards. Ross says, hi Mehran. Hi everyone, male 30 UK. He says, I keep longing for my ex. Stop longing. Start shorting. Meaning let it go. It's not gonna do you any good. It's your desire. It's not her. It's your whole program for sex, for companionship, for having a relationship with your memory, and through getting your ex back, bringing the memory that is dead and non-existence to life again, because you love your memory. It is your memory that you want to reinstigate. You want to refresh. You want to regenerate. You want to bring it back to life. So in fact, you want to go back in time to be with your memory, which you're pleased with, and you know there was no surprises there. It's a field of the known, the memory. It's called field of the known. You want to be in the field of the known where everything was safe. And in order to do that and make it a reality, you want your ex. Otherwise, the ex as she is now is of no use to you, because it broke up, because she's not the same person that you used to have a relationship as it is recorded in your memory. It's a different person, but you don't want to see that different person. You are thinking of her, you're perceiving her, not as she is right now, but as she used to be, and how you have it recorded in your memory, and you're pursuing that. Otherwise, if you really can see her for what she is, you're convinced that you don't want her back. Because if she was the same, you would not be breaking up. You guys, Obviously, she's not the same. That's why things didn't go well. And why would you want to be with someone that things didn't go well anymore? Because you don't see it as she is. That she is no longer the person that you were in harmony with. You only see her and physically reminds you of how she used to be, and you want to bring that back. That's why you want the X. You want the X. But the fact that she decided not to be with you, or however, that should be a deal breaker. Because imagine if the girl that you used to know, same girl, before, in your memory, in the past, before you guys broke up, when you guys were together, if she would have said that she doesn't want to be with you from the day one, and you guys never got together, would you still pursue her? No, you would have considered that a deal breaker because she did not want to be with you. Now nothing has changed. Now it's a year or whenever, however long later, the relationship was, and now she says she doesn't want to be with you. So she's a person that has created the deal breaker, which is doesn't want to be with you, or is not of the quality that you would want to be with her or consider her a good choice for you. So see her for what she is, then you will see, well, your memory is not the same as her. Her in your memory is not the same as her now. So why would I want to be with her? Because you're in love with your memory, how she was, but she's not how she used to be. So why do you want to be with someone who is not how she used to be, is different? You got to see that clear. Then you'll be fine. He says, I kept longing for my ex. I was young and didn't know what I wanted at that time. Unfortunately, I broke up with her as I had to move away. A few months later, I realized the mistake I made and I grew up a lot in that time. I have not met anyone like her in the past few years. Can't help thinking about the time we were together, even though I know it's gone forever. No one else matches up, and it doesn't help. I'm losing hair, etc. Losing hair. Yeah, she didn't come for your hair. So I'm looking for the punchline here. There's no punchline. All right. Let me tell you that, okay, I should have read your question to the end. I didn't have to go and explain that point, but again, anyhow, that would be also helpful. Now, you are forgetting the fact that you're no longer that person that you were at the younger age when you actually thought of her so greatly. At the time when you chose her, you had a certain expectations and standards, limited. At the time of at that age, you had limited experience, limited knowledge of yourself, let alone of her. So therefore, you really didn't know what kind of girl you wanted. And at that age, sex and intimacy and companionship with a woman was so amazingly important that for you, the fact that she was there made her to be the best of the best. But you had no experience to compare her to anything. And at the time, she was a young girl herself, like you, a young man. She didn't have any reason to know what she wants or what she doesn't want. She was just being her sweet self. But right now, you cannot think of her being the same sweet girl as she was then. She has changed a lot. To what? I don't know. You have changed a lot. And you know how. So your expectation and standards, and her expectations and standards, and her center, who she is now and who you are now, it's all changed. No longer she would be the same person that you used to know. So don't think of her that I haven't met anyone like her, because at the time you met her, you didn't expect anything, and she was of a different kind of a state of her life. a different development stage. But you can't think that she's still the same person, because that's what you remember of her. You are different, she is different. Perhaps if you meet her now, you will be interested because of how you guys used to know each other, but soon enough you'll see, holy shit, you're totally different. And not even able to be at the same level of when you guys were younger. So don't lose any sleep on it, and don't fantasize for her, because this is normal that we often do think about how sweet the relationship in college or school was with some girl, and then we think if she comes back to our life now, it would be a perfect match because at one time it was wonderful and that's all you remember. But that's not how it works. She's changed, she's gone through different stages of life, you have changed, and things may be okay for a while but totally different in personality. Unless you guys meet and see for a while, another 6 months or a year, to see how you really have turned into or changed, don't fantasize. Don't condition yourself that this is exactly the right choice. No, you just think it that way. But thinking is not actually the reality or the actuality. Okay. Now, so Murat says, hi, love your videos. I have issues with girls acting like sluts by letting whoever touch them and make out with them at the club or doing whatever they want. Murat continues, which makes it hard for me to make out with girls I want. My recent ex, when we were together, went to the club once and made out with a guy, and that was not the first time. It happened at a house party as well. Her answer was, you don't understand how guys are. They will ignore you and not talk to you. I don't want that. And now she moved to another country to party with a friend who has history of calling herself and a friend of her whores cause they wanted to lay with a lot of guys without feeling. Now my ex is with her. I broke up with her prior to her moving cause I didn't trust her and what she was gonna do. Sorry, Mr. B, please leave and don't sting me, I'm talking. Thank you. I didn't trust her and what she was gonna do where she moved. I want to take her back after this breakup, but not sure if I'm gonna start thinking about who she fucked or what she did when she was away. Keep the good work. Love your videos. Sorry for the long question. No, it's okay. Long question is okay. However, Murad, you forgot to give me some information about you, about how old you are, where you're coming from originally, and how old she is, where she's coming from originally. These would help me to know a little bit of a cultural background about you, to see perhaps I can figure out the conditioning that has gone in making your consciousness the way it is perceiving things and what you described to me. So I wait for that information if you could. That helps me to open up a little bit more info about you, to deliver what I want to deliver on the same resonance that you could understand, or perhaps be able to be more clear in my explanation. So let's see if you can do that right away so I can get on with your question. So Murad says, I'm 23, she's 19. I'm from Turkey, but born in Sweden. Yes. And she's Swedish. Okay, there we go. There we go. I get what you're saying, but I'm born in Sweden and should have same thinking as the boys here. Not necessarily. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. But there's a little bit of a tangent there. And that's because your parents instilled a certain kind of values that is more in tune, or somewhat in tune, with the Turkish society and traditions. And I'm not sure about your religion. You could be Christian or you could be Muslim. I'm not sure, or nothing. Again, that could be helpful. If you can click that in as well before I start talking about it, it would be good. All right, good. Parents are Muslim. All right, look. Why don't we wait for this ship to pass by the harbor with his horn? It's apparently a bit foggy, maybe, or trying to tell someone to get out of the way with the big noise. All right, so it's all about, look, what she's doing is nothing wrong with it, provided that you come from the same kind of consciousness without any Turkish influence, Muslim influence in it. Because in Sweden, most European countries, it's not a sin, it's not a problem when the girls kiss a guy before, you know, it's not a big deal. But to you is a big deal because somehow, whether through family gatherings or traditional observations or involvement, or how you've been conditioned or seen or been told or advised, what the expectations of parents are about what is the right girl or not, you have somehow bought into the fact that a girl kissing another guy is a sin, is dirty, is bad. So the actual kissing the guy is not bad, but what your interpretation of that action is what makes it good or bad in different people's opinion. If it was a Turkish girl and if it was in Turkey, according to that custom, that could have been seen as a taboo, a no-no, a bad behavior. But she's not Turkish. She's not a Turk. She's Swedish. So what she's doing is not outside of the norm of Swedish culture. You have to look at it this way. Don't look at what she's doing. Look at if she's doing something outside of her conditioning and the norm of the society she was raised in. Because to her, that is within the norm. And therefore, to her, she's not stepping outside of the norm or the culture. She's not doing anything against it. She's not doing any taboo. She's not doing anything bad. She's doing what is acceptable. So it's not like she's doing something unacceptable for you to see it. Oh, she's involved in something unacceptable, taboo, and culturally unacceptable. Therefore, she's a bad girl, which that has another story by itself. I'm not saying that she would be a bad girl even if this was outside of her the boundaries of the custom and traditions. No, but I'm saying in this case, that's your frame of thinking, is that you are thinking, because the way you're thinking and conditioning that a girl doing these things is bad, is being a whore, or is close to it, or it should be tabooed. That's your conditioning. Therefore, you think what she's doing must be terrible. But what she's doing is within her culture. So she's not doing anything wrong. You see that action as something wrong. Now, is that thing wrong or right? That's a different story. But to her, she doesn't believe it's wrong. That's why she's doing it. It's not like she believes it's wrong and she's doing it, therefore you dub her as a whore or as someone who's doing something wrong. To her, it's no big deal. Which it is no big deal. It's two human beings. Don't you feel like kissing a girl? How come if you kiss a girl is okay? But if she kisses a guy before you guys met or whatever, then suddenly it's bad. Of course, when two people are together, they should not be indulging in kissing other, women or other guys. That's a given. But if she's not with you, she broke up with you and kisses a girl, you should think of her exactly the same way you would think if you would kiss a girl when you're broken up with some girl. If you broke up with your girlfriend, and then tomorrow or day after or a few weeks later you see a girl that you like and you kiss her, have you done anything wrong? Have you become a scumbag? Have you become someone inappropriate? No. That girl gave her permission for you to kiss her, and you gave your permission to her to kiss you. So what sin has been done here? What outrageous behavior has been done here? Nothing. But suddenly, as a boy looking at a girl that you want to feel you're the man, you're the only man for her, because that's how you get affirmed, that's how you feel like you're worth something, you're better than the other ones because she has chosen you, and you think your worth and value is based on a girl's choices rather than based on your actions and your efforts and your contribution to the society. And suddenly the girl has become the maker or breaker of you and your worth and value. Then you think about it, oh, then her action of kissing another guy is actually demeaning me. How? God knows. But that's what your conditioning is. That's what you decided, that this has a direct effect on you and your worth and value. So you really don't give a damn she's kissed someone. You give a damn about how your image is being affected by her doing what she's doing out there. Otherwise, in reality, you also kiss another girl when you've broken up, and you don't think much of it. You may sleep with another girl, and you say, oh, it was great. I'm so lucky that I had this chance with this girl. But if she does that, suddenly she's a whore, she's dirty. Why? It's because of the conditioning. Because if you compare the two actions, they're both the same and both done in good taste, like in good intention. But you're not called whore, but suddenly she is. Why? Because the conditioning of traditions and customs that have been programmed and been put in your head, to your consciousness, for you to lead your life according to those rules. Why? Who knows? It's all bullshit anyhow. So, you have to be fair. If you want to be a man, learn to be fair. You can't force things through. That's not being a man. That's just being someone who doesn't think wise. And you don't want to be like that. Obviously, you're caring enough to want to learn things. You want to better yourself, to be able to handle life. Life is not going to be organizing itself based on your criterias. Life is going to go on and do its thing as it does. It is you who is supposed to be able to fold and mold with the events of life and not to be hurt, to be tumbling around and rolling over and dealing and managing things, because you can't expect the world shape itself around your mentality and your conditioning. But instead, you got to be flexible enough to be able to observe and understand and roll with it and be tolerant and realistic that it's okay. It's not a big deal. Somehow, some culture made it a big deal for you, and it's a big deal. But other cultures did not make it a big deal for them, and it's not a big deal. So what happened? Both societies filled with humans. It's the mentality, it's not the action. It's how you perceive it, it's not the actual action. Having sex or kissing, your girlfriend or the girlfriend kissing another boy when she's not committed to another relationship, there's nothing wrong with it. What's wrong with it? It's the cultures and religions and the customs that makes it right or wrong. Otherwise, the action itself can't be right and wrong in different cultures. What happened? Is it either right or wrong? It's not like murder. Murder is wrong no matter where, what culture. Yeah? But what is it? That this food is delicious with this culture and it's sought after, and same food in other cultures, oh, I don't want it. So is the food good or bad? The food itself is okay. It doesn't kill or doesn't harm. It's nutritious. But according to the conditioning and the taste is what they dub it good or bad. Well, that needs a closer look. The same thing here. The murder is bad anywhere. But kissing between, this girl and that guy, or between you and another girl, it's only the cultures, the conditionings that makes it good or bad. Otherwise, it's the same action. It's like that food or that fruit. So, if you think it this way, you say, okay, the action is okay. It's my culture or my upbringing or my mentality that makes me feel it's a bad thing. Now, if it goes further than that, they're being, quite silly and with that girlfriend that sleeps around, well, of course that's not good. Nobody thinks, even the good girls themselves don't think that's a good thing to do, to be loose all around the house, all around the country, all around, it's like a village bicycle. Everybody's having a ride. So on that case, you don't have to tell her anything. She herself would know if it's right or wrong. And if she wants to continue that, well, that means that's not the right girl for you. Why do you have to think that every girl that you like should also be the right girl for you with the proper behavior? You like a girl, but you see she's not believing in herself in certain ways. She acts in different ways that is not appropriate as far as she should be concerned, not just you, your culture. Then you see, you get your clue. That's not the right girl for me. Then you walk away. The problem is created because you want to get back with her. And in your mentality and consciousness and programming, you can't accept her back because of what she has done. Because you've been conditioned to think that actions that she has done while she broke up with you is unacceptable to you, to your culture, to your manhood, to your ego, to all that shit. But otherwise, she hasn't done anything wrong. But if she does other things that in the eyes of a noble woman, noble girl, a decent girl, a proper girl herself, among the girls is not acceptable, then that's your clue that that's not the right girl for you. Then you got to, give away the idea that I want to get back to her. No, you say, I don't want to get back to her. Why? These are the reasons. I hope that was something that could help you to think. And thank you for for your contribution to the channel. It's appreciated. Um, we go to Ross. No, I think we go to Mark. Mark says, is there ever a right time or circumstance where insulting someone is okay? It is always okay if it's done in your own mind. Like if you see somebody is driving like an idiot, you just say, well, what an asshole. But it's in your mind. So nobody got hurt and you said your piece and you satisfied yourself. But saying it to their face, well, let me read the rest of the question. If someone insults another person, does that show weakness in them? I never insult people, but don't want to come across what happens to the rest of it? Okay, I don't see the rest. All right, then I guess that was the whole question. Well, look, insulting someone doesn't fix that person, and it just expresses your anger. Like, you know, someone is, if you're driving, somebody drives something, you're in your own car and you say, oh, you fucking idiot, what kind of driving is that? Okay, you know, you got it out of your system, and that's good, nothing wrong with that. But actually turning around and parking beside the guy on a, on a red light and looking at him, say, you such and such and such fuckhead, that releases your anger. But then there's a, you know, then his ego goes up and he wants to defend himself, because nobody's going to admit that he's an idiot or his behavior was bad. At least if they're not, you know, that level of understanding, they wouldn't do that. So they want to, you know, escalate the situation. So there is no benefit in insulting someone when it is not going to reverse the situation or fix the situation or help that person to understand something. So most often just pass by, don't give a shit. Don't have a mission to fix people. And you're insulting them in order because you want to tell them how wrong they are and you want to fix them in a way. Don't care. Not caring about fixing them is worse than insulting them, because that means you just don't consider them as something worthy enough for you to actually say anything to them. In other words, fuck them. Just move on. There's enough idiots in this world that if you want to constantly worry about and pay attention to every idiot that does some stupid thing or inappropriate behavior, you'd be having no time to do anything else in your life, because there is infinite number of idiots in the world. So the best thing is just simply like you're walking through a maze, and on the road that you're moving in, you're walking through, there are lots of potholes, lots of shit, dog shit, you know, all kinds of different garbage, and just negotiate, jump from here to that, you know, dry space and another one, and negotiate and move away from all these and find your way to go through. This is like the same. You know, when you're going through life today, this and every morning and through your life, the bus driver could be coming from a, I don't know, bad experience that day, or has his own problems, may say something weird or be insulting or inappropriate, or the clerk somewhere, or the breakfast place, or whatever it is. You can't be insulting every one of them because they're doing something stupid or nasty or not, and they're being inappropriate. You try to distance yourself from these sort of people and find your way and move on. Focus on things that really, you know, brings you good results of what you want to accomplish in life. That's the best way, I think. Now, and you don't want to come across as a pushover. Yeah, well, if they insult you, are you talking about if someone insults another person, does that show weakness in them? Weakness in who? In the person who insulted, or the person who got insulted? The person who got insulted, that's not a weakness if he hasn't done anything and he was insulted. And the person who did the insulting, if it was not called for, and if that person who was insulted by him did not really cause any harm or any, you know, misbehaving, and somebody just insulted him, well, the guy who insulted someone is actually showing weakness. Because I try not to insult people because I just don't consider that to be any effective way of fixing anything. It just escalates it. Unless they really are being an asshole and you just tell them, you know, move along, get lost. But the best thing is to not get into any pissing contest with them. Just move along. Pay no attention. There's so much garbage out there that if you want to keep looking at them and pay attention, fix them all up, you'll have no time for your own life. Just hear it, see the bad situation, and move along. You know, you don't have any reason to spend your time with someone who's obnoxious or weird or unreasonable or ill-behaved. Just get away from them. That's all. If there's a problem, real serious problem, call the authorities. Let the law handle it. Otherwise, it's something, just give a look and move away. Or just move away. Pay no attention. That tells them that they weren't even worthy enough to be given any kind of a thought. And you moved on. That's a good enough insult. Nasro says, hi, my dear Mehran. Hello, dear Nasro. How are you? Majid Mujahid says, hey, me and my girl broke up a year ago on September. I took a month off and I tried to better myself. I've improved immensely on October till March. I think things were great. We had a fret bond and had sex multiple times, but when I asked her to get back together, she told me she got cold. Yeah, because when you're available, and often girls don't want something that is available to them. Same thing with you. When she was available to you, you broke up with her or you misbehaved. Now that she's not available to you, you want to get back with her. The same thing goes with her. When you guys were not available or got back to each other, you guys were you know, okay and having sex and fun. But as soon as you offered yourself that I can be available to you, she just backs out, because usually people want to go after something that they can't have. How stupid it is? Yes, it is. But that's the mentality of some people who don't have enough confidence, are not sure of what they're all about. So, Excalibur says, finally I catch you without any notification. How come you don't get notification, Excalibur? What happened? Something extremely funny happened yesterday. I was walking down the street and I saw a funny looking car that I have never seen before. So I looked closely and my eyes popped, since the car's model is Mehran. Really? Really? I have never seen anything like that. Mehran as a car model. Suzuki Mehran. Really? That's interesting. I gotta see what my name means in Japanese. Suzuki Mehran. Interesting. Yeah, I can't believe it either. So Mehdi continues, says, I told her to give me a call if you change your mind. She did. Not literatively saying it, but giving me hints that she wants to get back. She told me that she want commitment. We're 23. If we were gonna be back together, we were gonna get back. Okay. Mehdi, but I failed at my studies. I didn't pass the year, and then nothing. She contacted me a few times, how I've been, and anytime I ask her to have coffee, she says she busy, she can't. Still miss her. She was my best friend. I really got lost. You guys broke up, then had sex, then you asked her to be together. She said, okay, we'll be together. And then she needs commitment. And then you didn't pass your exam. Why the fuck you didn't pass your exam? Didn't I always tell you that even if you break up or you don't break up, you gotta focus on what brings you your future and helps you to build a future, and part of that is your education. Never let go your education opportunities or your job opportunities because you broke up with this girl or you're going through a breakup and whatnot, because those things don't come back and it's difficult to get them back. So you cannot let breakup affect your studies or your job and so on. You didn't listen, did you? Now you didn't pass the year. Well, okay, now you didn't. But what does it have to do with her being cold now? If she's gonna be like this up and down with every negative thing that happens in your life, suddenly she wants to back down, then she's looking for a guarantee that she's not gonna be willing to be with you when things are not good, but she only wants to share with you when things are good. So if you pass your test, if you get a good job, if you have money, she's with you. If something goes wrong, suddenly she's disappeared. Well, that kind of girl you don't even fucking want to deal with. So move away. If she's not understanding about what life is, and she's not helpful in cooperating together and helping each other to, persevere and build your lives, then she's the wrong match anyhow. Until she changes her mind and behaves properly and can understand and be helpful, there's no need to pursue her. But anyhow, focus on your studies, get that done. That's most important than the girls. Girls come and go. When you're ready and your studies are done and you got a good job, then you can be really serious in finding a girl that you want. Until then, it's all just, little relationships here and there. Not that important. And don't make them to be that important. All right. He says, I don't know what to do. I'm focusing on my studies, but I just miss my best. You don't miss your best friend. That's not a best friend. The best friend is that stays with you in thick and thin. It's not a best friend. You just, you know, at the age that you think anything that you can have sex with, she's the best friend. No. She's the best thing since sliced bread. No. Move on. Focus on your studies. Get that done and get a good job, and you'll see there'll be a lot more opportunities as far as girls finding you so qualified suddenly. I failed 4 years studying in university. Should I just give up? You failed 4 years? I don't understand. Every year you failed for 4 consecutive years? I don't understand. I don't care how many times you failed. You keep doing it until you get it and pass it, because that's what you need in order to get a good job, right? Unless you have plans that I don't know about. But if that is something that you want to do, your education, stick with it. Finish it with clear head, away from all these things back and forth. Just everything has its own place, and education has its own place. Get that done and get on with your life. Iskaja, Iskaja 0. I don't know how to pronounce that. Hello Mehran, good to see you live finally. Hello dear, good to see you. Please let me know, guys, where you're tuning in from, how old you are, if you're a man or woman, if it's not clear from your picture or from your screen name. Whisper says, what if my ex is bringing men around my children? I date on my own time when my kids are not around. She's fucking them in the room next to my kids. My son told me. Oh, that is very bad. That is very bad. Talk to her. Say, listen, when the kids are with me, you can do whatever it is that you wish to do. But when the kids are there, that is not appropriate. And if you continue that, I will have to go to the social services or to my lawyer and make sure that you observe the right and psychological well-being of the children, and do not do that. Simple. Some kids may be able to sort it out later on in life, and some kids will always hate their mother. And tell her, if you don't want to be hated, because those kids grow up, they don't give a shit anymore about what you did, but they would have a different value for you as a mother. And don't create that for yourself, because the kids will never forgive you. The kids wouldn't care. They grow up and they'll grow up strong and they'll be just perfectly as what they will be. But they will remember that you were not dedicated mother. And that would be a negative mark on you, and you will not be considered as you should be considered in their minds. So that's up to you. That's what you can share with her and let her make the decision. And if she did make the decision, therefore you go to the authorities, the legal authorities, and make that happen. Sino says, hi Mehran, you helped me before 39 Hong Kong. Okay, Sino. As expected, the ex has come back after 1 year. She has texted me and stalked me online. I sense she is suffering. Perhaps who she jumped to dumped, who she jumped, dumped her. Who she jumped to, dumped her. I've ignored her to date despite her suffering, as this is for her to deal with, but the stalking continues. It's been over 1 year now, and I've moved on, although she still means something to my past, although the desire has largely gone. Although there's still a small amber burning. Oh, fuck the amber. Put water on it and make sure it's stomped and it's gone. Because there is no shortage of good women in the world. And if you guys are not a match, and she had her chance and chose to jump to some other branch, and now she wants to come back, this is not a bloody yo-yo. If she showed that she cannot be committed when it was all fresh, the relationship, then obviously that's going to be her style. She's going to go up and down with when she wants something, she doesn't want something. And you are in a good place right now. You've moved on, you're having your life. Keep moving. That's it. Stop letting desire for sex and your memories make decisions for your now and for your future. You can advance to a better partner when they do not comply with proper behavior at one time when you guys were together. She chose to leave. That doesn't mean she can also choose to come back whenever she wants to. You have moved on. If she's insensitive with the actions that caused you so much suffering, then you have no responsibility toward her right now. Move on, live your life, and wish her well, as well wish yourself well. Majid says, Khubi Mehran. Hello, Majid. He says, thank you very much for videos. You're welcome. Kalani says, my brother Mehran. Aloha. Aloha, Kalani. Mahalo. Majid says, can you talk about possible effects of parents in the influence? The girl example, dad not around, and mom has had multiple temporary marriages. I need a little bit more clarification on your question, Majid. Can you talk about possible effects of parents in the influence they would have on a girl? Example, the dad was not around and mom has had multiple temporary marriages. Have I translated it correctly? Is that what you want to say? Well, you know, children are not statues. They have life and wisdom and brain. They process things and they learn from things. So just because the mother was having multiple marriages, that doesn't mean the child, a girl is in agreement with the mother or is going to be taking that as her role model and follow that footstep. No, it could actually mean that she's committed to have one real relationship and she's not in agreement with what the mother lifestyle has been. And so you can't think just because she's seen that, then she's going to become like that. She's a human being with brain. She's analyzed it probably. And don't forget, every human being, regardless of what they see their parents have done, they have their own image of a good life, healthy life. And they know that a healthy life is a healthy relationship in their, about their relationship life. So therefore, they're looking for a solid, committed relationship. They're not thinking, oh, just because my mother did this, then that must be the meaning of a relationship, so I will do the same. No, they're not dummies. So, but getting to know them, and they get to know you through courting and time you guys spend with each other will help you to realize how much you guys really, you know, are compatible. And if her consciousness and yours are somewhat compatible, or the understanding on this subject and what quality life is to each one of you would become more apparent when you spend more time with each other. Otherwise, if you want to, you know, think it that way, then it is like you think that she is her parents. Not necessarily. She may have her own views of the parents' conduct, and those views could be very much in line with yours, perhaps, because of what she's seen. Because she despises, you know, she despises it. She hates the behavior of the mother, or whatever it was, the father, whatever. So talk with her, get to know each other. Don't judge her based on what you know about her family life has been. How many people in life have had terrible family lives, but they've become scholars and humanitarians and compassionate, you know, and good people of, you know, good quality all around. So you can't really think it in that sense about her. Mr. J. Barney says, hi, my good man. Hello. I absolutely love the videos. Listen, you guys who all keep telling me you love the videos and you enjoy all these things, I expect some positive action from you guys. Share the videos you like on your social media. You know, encourage and improve the visibility of this this channel to your friends, however you can. And also make sure you like. I don't know, there are 18 people here, so I at least got to see 18 people. I don't know how many they were. Maybe we lost some. So like the videos, and make sure you make comments on the videos you watch, and like the videos that you watch, because that all helps the algorithm to recognize us a little bit better and moves us up. And try to find you know, sources that could be interested in writing a report or a article on us in their medium, whether it's newspaper, television, radio, whatever. Interviews would be more available. I mean, I'd be available to do that and get this channel known, because I am convinced, as you are, that it is helping thousands and thousands of people around the world every day, every month. So, but we don't have the exposure yet. So help us out, and I appreciate your kind words and that you enjoy the channel. I also hope that you guys will remember how to help the channel, because that would be meaning that we would reach more people and help more people around the world. Again, thank you, Mr. J. Banray. I hope that's the way I could pronounce it correctly. Now, Eskaya says, my husband left me and moved out after 20 years. Within the 20 years, he cheated on me more than 5 times. Holy macaroni. More than 5 times that you know of. Could have been more that you don't know of. Believe me, I don't think he's gonna be the confessing to the ones that you haven't found out. So most likely more than 5. Oh, there you go. More than 5 times. Yeah. Still, I can't let him go. What might be wrong with me? You just don't see him as having done anything to really hurt you, because you haven't been really hurt, because you're rather confident in yourself, thinking, okay, he slept with other girls, but there's no real connections. And or perhaps somehow his actions has made you feel that you don't exactly have him, and that had created a little bit of a competition, or a little bit of a more interest in you to get him, because he's not fully committed because of his cheating, and you've interpreted as a challenge that you want to show you're better than all these other ones, So you want to reel him in. So he has created this image, knowing or unknowingly, in your mind that he is sought after. And then you are now enticed to go after something that is more sought after than you thought. So you're kind of giving him a value for the bad behavior that he has done. He's created a little bit of a question about you, that if you're good enough or not. Therefore you want to possess him, get him, catch him, in order to prove to yourself, not that you want him that much, to prove to yourself that you can get him, you can be better than those 5 or more that he's been, chatting around with. So I think you should focus on your life, and hopefully you're financially okay, and you can, invest some time on yourself and maybe research some new learnings and elevate yourself and expect more from yourself than just getting back the husband who's been cheating, to prove to yourself in that way that you're more valuable than these other girls that he's been with. I think you can find some truth in what I'm saying by examining your own consciousness. See, what is your motivation wanting someone who's proven to you over and over that he's not faithful? Or perhaps, I don't know, again, because you haven't told me where you come from, what your background is, I can't really have much information about your cultural upbringing. Perhaps your culture, that is not a real bad thing, so you can live with it. And maybe that is also another reason that you don't think of it as such a big deal. Again, please guys, remember to let me know how old you are, where you're tuning in from, and if you're a man or woman. And it helps me to know a little bit more about you when I want to deliver your answer, if we know what cultural background you're from, and your age and gender. And ASO encourages everyone to go and like the videos. Go and like the stream, guys. Helps us with the algorithm. Pablo Smith says, hi Mehran. Hello, Pablo. Pablo says, I am Muslim and my parents want me to marry a Muslim female when the time comes. I'm not against it, but I live in the USA and most of the girls I meet are not Muslim. 20 male USA. Well, you're 20 years old right now. Don't have to worry about these things. When you find the right girl, it doesn't matter what the religion is. You will marry her because of who she is. Even though her religion has a lot to do with who she is or what her conditioning has been, how she's been put together. But you guys have to create an understanding and bonding on consciousness level, which would mean a thorough understanding of each other's psyche. And that is what makes a relationship break or make or break. So not to worry about it at this point. At this age, 20, it's all a warm-up game. You just got to get to know girls, get to know how to respect them, how to like them, how to interact with them, how to communicate with them, how to, be caring about them, all these things, and you will get to know experiences with interaction with them. And eventually when you're 28, 29, 30 years old, having finished your university or your education, got a job and know what life is about a little bit more, then you will seriously look for a companion that would, meet your standards and would be the right girl for you. Pablo continues, I'm scared of meeting and getting attached a girlfriend that is not Muslim because my parents want me to marry her. Well, who says that any girl that you get attached to or you choose as your girlfriend and she chooses you as your the boyfriend, you're gonna get married with? You have this perfect imagination that relationships are absolute. As soon as you meet a girl and you guys become girlfriend, boyfriend, then suddenly you guys gonna end up marrying? No, it's gonna break up 100% of the times. Before you guys find the right match for each other, you're gonna go through 4 or 5 different or more girlfriends. So don't worry about that. Right now, get that out of your head. Okay? And look, push comes to shove, if that's really important for you and to you, maybe by the time you meet the right girl, and I mean the right girl, that's not about the right religion. The right girl that you guys can really hit it off and be compatible, then either you or her will choose to, if that is really a deal breaker, to switch your religion to the other person's religion. Because all religions really want the same and aim for the same thing, to become a better person, to be closer to the highest standards of humanity that you can be, and you know, all that. None of them say anything different. It's just a different path. It's like everybody is trying to climb the mountain and reach the summit. But according to their abilities and agilities and training, they choose different sides of the mountain, different techniques to climb the mountain. Some with ropes, and some with rock climbing, some with just walking around the mountain to go up, some walk up, and so on, and different ways. But they all have the same goal: reach the summit. The summit is the same, doesn't change. So all these religions, they all say the same thing: be a better person, closer to perfection, close to fairness, and this and that, so for righteousness, be a good human being. They all say the same thing, only they have different paths. One is this and one is that and one is the other one, you know. So many: Christianity, Islam, Judaism, I don't know, Buddhism, all kinds of things, that is Shintoism, all kinds of religions are out there. But if you notice, they all want their disciples, the followers, to become a better person. And they all talk about the same God. So it somehow looks like more like a multi-level marketing. No, join us. No, join us. Oh, let us be bigger. Well, they're all going the same place. So why don't you just cooperate? They're all the same. They're all good. So no matter what the religion of the girl is, that's not important. Are you telling me the people who have gotten married and they're from the same religion, whether they're both Muslim or they're both Christian or they're both Jewish or they're both Buddhist or they're both whatever religion is out there, they're both of the same religion? Are you telling me the people who got married and they're of the same religion, they never got divorced? It never broke up? So why is it so important that there has to be the same religion? Because the parents can go through the same traditions and, you know, interactions, and it's comfortable for them. Otherwise, why should a religion form your brain? Why should should your brain is not formed according to the life experiences, logic, wisdom, fairness, compassion, humanity, civility, and all that? Because ultimately, it is for that reason that they're not compatible in the breakup. They don't break up because their religions, they're even both belong to the same religion. Then why is it that they break up? Because their mentality doesn't measure up. So it is most important to focus on bringing the mentality to compatibility rather than being of the same religion. Okay, so you satisfied all the other clan that are in the same religion. Oh yeah, our son is marrying another Muslim. Oh, our daughter is marrying a Christian. They're all the same. Oh, which church do they go from? Which mosque? Oh, bullshit. Because ultimately, when they break up or get divorced, they're not going to say, oh, because they were both from the same religion, they got divorced. No, suddenly, religion has nothing to do with it. But when they want to get married, oh, they have to be from the same religion. Why? Is it an insurance that they will not break up? We know that it's not. So why is that so important? Okay, I think you got the gist of it. Now, so don't worry about it. Just go enjoy your life for now. When the right girl appears, then you'll see that that is not important at all. And today, many Muslims marry with Christians, and Christians marry with Muslims, and mixed marriage, Jewish marry Christians, and Jewish and Muslims get married too. And there has never been any problem with the Jewish and Muslims as individuals. Forget the politics. Human beings have always gotten along, and the biggest reason that they didn't get along was because of their governments. Otherwise, individually, they all have the same needs. They need food, shelter, love, friendship, hygiene. The rest of it is just programming. Don't buy into that. All right, let's move on. Excalibur says, if Mehran drives a Suzuki Mehran, is that a vicious circle? Possibly. Murat says, I see how I shouldn't care about what she does now. But when I meet her again, I want to know if everyone did ride her bike. If she did leave a lot of people ride the bike, I don't want her back. First of all, she's not a bike. That was just a metaphor. But secondly, yeah, that's between you and her. If you can't handle that, and if you think that she's done something against the norm of her culture, then okay, maybe you can feel uncomfortable. But to you, it's against the norm of your culture, but she's not from that culture or that religion. So what she does, it's within the norm. She hasn't done anything wrong as far as she's concerned. So you got to come to peace with that, come to terms with that, then you approach her. Look at her as an individual, not as a physical entity. But I understand what you're saying. So see what works for you. So, and it's not end of the world if you're not with her, if you can't handle it. And it's not end of the world if you are with her, if you can handle it. You know, and remember, you've done the same thing, and you will do the same thing. You see a pretty girl in a party that she likes you and you like her and you guys kiss, you wouldn't say no. So why do you think if she is in the same circumstance, she would be doing something wrong if she does the same thing that you would? Be fair now. All right, let's move on to Mr. J. Barney. It says, me and my ex broke up around 3 months ago, and it was so sudden. The day we broke up, she took me to see her dad's grave, which was obviously a personal thing. We were friends for 10 years prior. Then we got back to her house, and she told me she wanted to be alone and isn't happy anymore. And then as soon as we broke up, she turned so cold and blocked me when I did nothing wrong to make her hate me. The thought of her with another guy is always on my mind and can't stop. Even when it comes to education, I see her every as we study, or every day probably. I see her every day as we study the same thing, and I find it very hard to focus without my heart racing when I see her. Yeah, of course, because you're a man and this was your girlfriend and you know her so well and you've created this order with her, you're very familiar with her, and you consider her as part of you, an extension of you, and if she's gonna go have a relationship with another man, you feel it's a violation of the kind of image you have of you two, and that is going to affect you, of course. And also, how do I get past the point of not letting them bother you when you see them in person? Oh, what happened? Did I jump a question? Oh. Oh, I see. Even when it comes to education, I see her every day as we study the same thing. I find it very hard to focus without my heart racing when I see her. Just couldn't believe it when she told me she wanted to be alone, but says I was the most perfect guy for her. Recently, she has constantly tried to start conversation over text about her work life and occurs every day, leaving me mind fucked as to what to think. And also, how do you get past the point of not letting them bother you when you see them in person? It will always bother you when you see her in person, and it will bother you more when she finds another guy that you know and she knows that probably is not as good as you and doesn't have the history that you two had, and that's going to mess with your mind more. So just take it day by day. Don't worry about what it will be. Your problem right now is that you're either in the past, in your memory, when you see her, how things were with you guys, and you travel into your memory, so you miss the fact of what really is it that you're conversing or interacting with at that moment. You're constantly in your past, and you're trying to secure that past again by trying to get some kind of an agreement that we can be together again whenever you guys interact. And that interferes with the quality of your interaction at that moment for whatever that topic may be. So you're never really in interaction. If there is any way for you guys to reconnect, that doesn't happen because you're not yourself and you're not dealing with that subject and topic of interaction at the moment. Because when you're trying to approach it and deal with it, whatever it is that she's asking you or talking to you about, you're still in your past and bringing those memories, and you're a little bit overly emotional, and your heart races and all that shit that you say, instead of seeing her as some woman, some girl who's asking you this, and you really don't really care that much because she's fucked up and she has switched turn. That means she's not balanced. So deal with her like a crazy person. Deal with her like a sick person. Deal with her like a friend who is a little bit imbalanced. And just be kind to her and attend to what she needs, and then move on. Don't bring the memories into your mind while you're dealing with her at the task at hand. And or you're thinking about what it will be when you're talking to her. If she meets somebody else, how can I get back to her? So you're either in the past or in the future. You're never really expressing yourself or dealing with her as you guys should to create a new experiences. Maybe that could be, eventually something new. So deal with it as something new, and let's see where does it develop to. If it did go somewhere good, you'll act on it. If it didn't, and she start, after her needs are over, you see she's hanging around with other guys, or she tells you she met this guy or that guy, then you say, okay, fuck it. Move on. I don't care if it was 10 years or 20 years. Doesn't matter. People change. You shouldn't try to make this life a constant, because it never is a constant. It's not an absolute universe. It's a relative world. Things change in it. It's dynamic. Everything changes. You try to hold on to it and turn a temporary, which everything is temporary, especially everything physical. If you want to turn a temporary to permanent, that's when the suffering starts. That's the definition of suffering. When you try to turn a temporary to permanent, that's when the suffering starts. So this, whatever it was, it was. Let it go, and whatever it is, it is. Interact with it, and whatever it will be, will be. You will decide then when the will be becomes it is. When the future becomes now, because there is no future waiting for you. There's no tomorrow waiting for you until it's tomorrow. When it's tomorrow, it's today, it's now. So there's only now. There's no other time. There's no past, there's no future, there's only now. Everything is happening in the now. Your future is based on what you do now. So don't fuck up now. Be with the now. See, interact with this crazy person who's changed. And the past is the foundation of the now. But it doesn't exist now. It's dead. The only thing that exists is now. So deal with it now. And then when the now is over, you go to the next now, whatever it is that you're doing. Don't bring these with you and keep getting yourself involved in analyzing it. Just enjoy the moment of it and let it be. And you will see if it develops in something or not. Then you're free. And don't try to keep the past, bring it, resurrect it, and that gives you pain. And free yourself. Maybe you meet another girl, much better. Because after all, you want psychological security. Through certainty, at least, is part of what brings psychological security, the elusive psychological security. So you may meet somebody else who's going to be committed to a relationship, not someone that after 10 years says, okay, bye-bye. That should be your clue. That, okay, move on. I don't want you to be too bogged down in this. Deal with it day by day. Just be yourself. Don't see her with the eye of the past. See her as she is now, and she is deserving only the attention that you can give it to her as she is now. Not that when you see her, you find her deserving to give all the attention that you used to give her because she used to be in such a way. She is not how she used to be. Therefore, she doesn't deserve how you used to be with her version in the past. Be, you know, who you are and what she deserves as who she is now, today. All right, let's move on to let's see where I was. Aha. Female 50, Germany. Okay, 50. You're a young woman. So, you know, you're seasoned, experienced, and not spring chicken. Lots of wisdom, lots of class, you know what you want, and you know how the game is played. You know, a woman knows how to lure a man. So become a little bit scarce. Don't be so available. Just become reserved. If he asks you out, just say, well, I'm busy tonight, perhaps some other time. Thank you for asking. That's it. Create this little bit of a mystery. Let him brew to rethink what he has done and rethink that you're not easy. And you will be in the driver's seat and you will feel more confident. And then you will see, because just as you are thinking about the history you had with this guy, with your husband, ex-husband, he is a human being too. He may actually feel that he needs to think about those things when he sees you're no longer available. But if you're constantly available and pursuing him, he gets more encouraged to go and fuck around and think of himself as like he's all that. You'll shut that down pretty quick if you know what to do, which I'm sure you should know. All right. I'm not here to teach you guys the tricks of the trade. I'm here to tell you just move on with your lives. But sometimes there are exceptions. All right. Let's see where we are. Excalibur says, I came across an article that said 10 facts about pornography, and one of the facts was that every single person you know watches porn or has watched it before. Is that credible or just pure nonsense? Who cares whether it's true or not? What difference does that make? Making such a general assumption that every single person has, it depends on their culture and what's available to them. It's possible or not. Some may have and some may have not, but who cares? Don't waste your time on these things. You're not supposed to be following what the consensus is or what the statistics say. You do what you got to do. The ones who have, who have. The ones who haven't, who haven't. Haven't. So what does it have to do with you? You do your own thing, whatever is suitable to you. Murad says, but should I ask her? If I do, I'm not sure she's gonna tell me. If she did, let everyone ride her mind. Don't ask her. Don't give a shit. Just do your thing. See how she behaves towards you. How she has acted, interacted when she was not with you, broke up with you. It's none of your business, really. Don't concern yourself with these things. Don't let these things get into your head and to constantly every day think, oh, did she? And did you sleep with the guy? And how did he touch you? Did he kiss you here? Was it French? Did he put his hand? Then you will go on and on. You want to know everything. It's going to become a nightmare. It's just don't give a shit. Because what she has done with the other people is a reflection on her decision. It doesn't make you a better or worse person. It doesn't change you of any way, shape, or form. So do not give a damn. Just care about, has this girl, when she was with you, been faithful or not? That's all it matters. If you guys are not together, well, she is free girl, free woman. She has the right to do whatever the hell she wants. And if the things that she has done is not representing to you that she was reserved enough, or she has a kind of a personality that you admire in a girl, then you move on. If it is, you can live with it, then no problems. But don't think what she does or does not makes you or breaks you as a man or as a character. No, you are you. It doesn't change that. And if it doesn't, it's not suitable, comfortable for you, the way she conducts herself in life, then move on with another girl that meets those criteria, standards, and qualifications. Make it easy for yourself. Don't try to change what you cannot be in control of or in authority of to what you want it to be. That becomes a real difficult thing to do. You know, compatibility is not about pressure or control or domination. Oh yeah, we're compatible, but she can't move. That's why we're compatible. No, she has to be free and you be free and see still compatible or not. That's what makes it work. Otherwise, another woman, another girl. Don't be so focused on one in situations like this. So, Monayem says, what do you think about Krishnamurti teaching? Mr. Jiddu Krishnamurti helped complete my research. His discussions, wisdom, analytical abilities was the key I was looking for in my studies in behavior of mind, coordination of mind and body, relationship with our energy and energy of the nature, the movement of our psyche, and the challenges that we all face on a day-to-day basis. I just wrote an answer, perhaps it was to you, I'm not sure, that I have never read any of Mr. Krishnamurti's books, but I have been fortunate enough and interested enough to spend thousands of hours, and literally thousands of hours, through many years of watching, listening to his lectures and interviews and discussions with psychologists around the world who would gather around the world, ask their questions from him, discuss matters of psychology with him, and professors of quantum physics having discussion with him, discussing such matters of psychology and the psyche, and interviews that was done to him, with him, rather challenging to understand the concept, but for me it was like fish to water. I've been waiting for such a key, and I spent many years studying these lectures, analyzing it, pondering it, weighing it for myself, and not understanding what they were saying, but understanding it in my own head by examining it, every single thing that they talked about, that he talked about. And that was my way of incorporating it into what I had learned and started researching in university in movement of mind, mind and body coordination, meditation, and how the mind works, and the relationship between nature and us, and so on. So it has been instrumental in my research and helping me to advance to where I wanted to go. It was a major key to helping me opening the ways, my understanding of my own psyche, and so on. So Mr. Jiddu Krishnamurti is a very important person as far as knowledge and research is concerned. A great man. I have forewords in my books. In two of my books, I have mentioned his contribution to my studies, to my research, and to my learning. And I still continue learning from his teachings and the conversations that I've pondered on, listened, watched. Now, Mr. Barney says, then we got back to, oh, I see, we got that one done. Okay, well, I've already done that. Excalibur enjoys some of my sentences. Majid says, I mean, how does she react to relationship? Does she learn bad behaviors? Well, listen, if people would be only if all people would be influenced by all the bad things that we all see in our lives, then everybody should be an asshole and everybody should be a total disaster, because there's so many people do bad things than good people, than good things being done. So just because she has come from a family that her mother has been having multiple marriages and all, that doesn't mean she's going to be a whore or she's going to be believing what the mother has been doing. No, people learn from bad things. In Farsi language, we have literally documents that and stories that, as you remember, if you have come across of it, they say they asked so and so, a person, from where did you learn manners, respectfulness, and polite behavior? He responded, from assholes and from people who had no manners. Think about it. We don't just learn good things from people who are behaving in good ways. We also learn good things from assholes and people who don't have manners, or they're not in their righteousness, they're not in the right part of and the right paths of life, by seeing how terrible it looks and the effects of their behavior to the society and the consequences is that therefore their negative actions and behavior, lack of manner and responsibility, shows us and teaches us what not to do and what not to get engaged in. So from bad behavior we also could learn good manners. So you never know how she is going to interpret all that. So there's no set rule on that. Depends on what she's made out of. Do you think they leave you because you don't stay around with them is fair and you give honest, valid reasons and they have stated everything else is in the relationship okay? Or is an excuse? It doesn't matter why they leave you. You should stop thinking that you should be chosen and also focus on who and why. And should you or not should you, or should you not choose them? You are the master for your choices. So don't just sit there and if the girl chooses you, say, oh, she must be the right one because I'm chosen. And if she doesn't choose you, say, oh, then she must be the right one and I'm not chosen. So in any case, she's the right one. You should say, is she the right one for me to choose based on the standards and my expectations? I'm going to do the choosing. And if she qualifies, then you choose. If she doesn't, then you don't. Don't sit around to be chosen. It should be both ways. Sayantan says, hello sir, 32 male from India. My ex was a divorcee and now dumped me a couple of weeks ago for another guy. It hurts like hell. I watch your videos and try to stay positive always, but the problem is, let me ask you something. Let me read the rest of your question first. After every while, her thoughts repeatedly appears into my mind. Her thoughts doesn't appear in your mind. Her vagina does. The sex, the idea of her legs and her body and the warmth and the sexuality. That's it. What is her thought? What is the thought? How valuable can it be? When a woman who dumps you and goes to another guy, what thought does she have? Obviously, it's not worth your piss because she chose another guy. So why should you care that her thoughts? What thoughts? Is it Aristotle's thought? You're giving her value because she represents sex. That's all. When you see her, you will not give her unnecessary value. You give her the value that she deserves. Then you will see, for God's sake, there's so many other... I mean, in India, there's what, 1.6 billion people? Or 1.2 billion people? I bet you there's about 500 million women out there. And I'm telling you, there's a lot more than one good woman there. Don't you think that's reasonable? So this woman who happened to leave you to another guy, the only reason that it hurts is because you think, oh, that other guy that she has chosen could be better than you now because she's chosen her. And who died and left her in charge of choosing somebody else which would determine your worth and value? Your worth and value is within you. Go find somebody who values you. Just because she didn't see the value in you, or her class or value is to be with someone not as good as you are, that doesn't make your value to diminish. Go find someone who can appreciate you. There are many wonderful women in India. Gee, there's 2 places in the world that are so many people around. One is India. So you have a very good choice to find other good women. So, and he says, yes, you're right. I think about intimacy and sex, but I don't know how to stop desiring her. Please show me way out. There's no need to show you way out. Go on the street and see how many wonderful, beautiful, accomplished women in India are. They're educated, they're serious, they're loyal, they're kind. What else do you want? You're in the center of all these wonderful opportunities. So I don't know how you're gonna get her out of your mind. It's just a matter of, I don't know, get that urge out of the way, and then you will see that once you have no sexual desire, the moment that you have satisfied yourself, you will see that you have no desire for her. Then you will be clearly seeing that your desire for her is just because she represents sex. And sex is not so easy to come by maybe in your culture, and that's why suddenly she's so, and then you think, oh, she's been divorcee, So it's okay, you know, nobody's gonna raise an eyebrow. I can have sex with her, and she can have sex with me freely. And because she's a divorcee, nobody can say anything about it. So these are making you think that she's really sought after. Go find yourself somebody else, somebody faithful and compatible to you. Stop this. These will change. It's all physical need. Go find someone who, beside the physical need, also is offering, you know, bonding unconsciousness, a value, quality in connection and in harmony with you. Whisper says, you are a hero to broken-hearted people, sir. I will share and like every time. Okay, thank you, Whisper. I appreciate it. The Paris experience says that's a very effective marketing effort. A Paris experience. You know, the Eiffel Tower and sightseeing. Hi again, Mehran. Hello, 29-year-old Los Angeles. Oh, Los Angeles, close by. How do you deal with your child during a breakup when the child got attached to the ex's children? I'm sorry? How do you deal with your child during a breakup when the child got attached to the ex's children? Is it a riddle? Are you telling me that your ex was already married, had children with another girl, and then you had children with your ex-husband, and then you guys got together, and then now you're broken up, and your child has been used to your ex's child, and that's what you're saying? I mean, that's what it makes sense only. Even though we don't have our own kids together. Oh, there we go. So I should have just read the last sentence. Then I didn't have to unravel the mystery. Okay, so that's how it is. Well, okay, she'll get over it. Or he'll get over it. I don't know what your child is. It's like, you know, you're changing the school of your child. You can ask, how can this child who is now have changed her school can get over the, you know, the fact that she had lots of friends in the old school? Well, eventually she will forget. But the fact is, I don't have enough information. The Paris experience. Could you give me a name so I don't have to give a whole mouthful for your name? So I don't know how old your child is, how old this relationship lasts, how old the interaction of your child and his children were. So I don't know the depth of it. So these are things that perhaps I would need. You guys know that there are things that I can't really elaborately discuss here, and you're always welcome to go on my site, mind-that-seeks-truth.com, and click on the Talk to Me for consultation and book a consultation one-on-one Skype so we can on detail discuss these matters, because it is not always, you know, I can go on for an hour or half an hour on different topics, but then again, that's why it takes so long, and that's not the purpose of this. Actually, I want to help as many people as I can in a short period of time. So when questions are really involved, and I love to get my teeth into it and explore it with you, but then you got to go and make an appointment through my site, and then we will explore it together, and we get you move out of the pit that you have parked and sit in it and wondering where the answer is. Now, I hope, Paris, this was something to help you out, because I don't know, it's not much, but there's a need for discussion here. There are lots of details I need, and if you are okay in that way, go on my site, mind-that-seeks-truth.com, make an appointment, and we'll discuss it. Kalani says preach. Okay, I don't know where that is related to, but anyway. Mr. J. Benny says, thank you so much for your answer. I want security in a relationship, not someone who is willing to drop me after all that time. I guess it's someone else's problem. She will be the one regretting. Yeah, it doesn't matter if she does or does not. You just go on with your life. Life is bigger than one girl or some acquaintance for, I don't care, 10 years or 20 years. Go on. This is your chance. You know, how long do you want to be stuck with a girl that after 10 years she does this? So what kind of trust can you have? If after 10 years she's unable to find reasons to stick it hard, then that's your clue. That is not the girl that you should really think about it for a lifetime experience. You know, just move on. Try other fruits on different trees. You know, it's not only one peach tree, there are 1,000 peach trees. You go on, get another peach. Okay. Riaz Vaziri says, you are great, sir. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And Riaz also says, I moved on so fast because of you. I changed my thinking. Well, I hope that wasn't just because of me. That was because your thinking saw the merits and logic in it and found it to be the best way for you as well. Excalibur says, haha, don't worry, Mehran, I'm not relying on the general consensus on anything. Good for you. Riaz says, you should make a matchmaking site, sir. Well, listen, let me fry the fish that I'm trying to fry here. And that's this channel. After 5 years, it only has 15,000 subscribers. If you're really that good, let's see if we can turn this 15,000 to 500,000 or 1 million. Then we'll think about other channels of other kinds. Excalibur says, I just found it highly funny that society agrees that it's bad, yet it's not bad when they watch it. Yes, that's true. That's very true, because it brings pleasure and everybody's seeking pleasure. And they just want to comply with a certain image and standards been put on them to create a certain acceptable image of them by others, by the society, but they actually would like to enjoy the pleasure anyhow. The Paris experience says, my name is Paris. Oh, okay. Good, that's easy then. And Paris says, okay, will do. And Ria's done Paris. Paris says, where are you located, Mehran? I'm in Vancouver, West Vancouver, British Columbia, in Canada. And obviously, Paris is in Paris, yeah? No, she said, I think she's in California. Excalibur says, also, Mehran, you should Google the car named after you. It's a cute, fun-sized little Japanese mini car. Yeah, I was actually going to Google it after the talk, before I go to the gym. Let's see, what time is it? It's 4:32. Okay, maybe let's see. I'm getting close to the end of the questions. Excalibur says, that's right. You hit the nail on the head, Mehran. Also, Mehran, you should Google the car. Yeah, definitely. And okay, looks like I hit all the questions. Yay. Now, okay guys, thank you very much for being with me. I love you all and I appreciate your time. Hope that you enjoyed it as much as I did. I look forward to talk to you again. Please be good to yourself, to the others. Share the videos you like on your social media and help this channel to grow. And you're welcome, Paris, and you're welcome everybody else who contributed to us here. And I hope that you will be good to yourself and to the others. In the meantime, In the meantime, nothing. Have your tea and I'll talk to you soon. Okay, bye for now.